Hey guys, my name is Zach. Probably already knew that. Welcome. Been a long time since I made a video, but I just wanted to get some thoughts about the Shadowlands alpha out there. Um, I do not have access to alpha personally. As soon as I get access to alpha, I'm going to try to make some more videos because there's a lot of specs in this game that are near and dear and close to my heart as to just memories and how much fun I've had playing them in the past. Um, but to be honest, none of those specs really work for me in BFA like they may have back in Legion or Mists of Pandaria or just during the prime of these specs. So I wanted to just talk about a couple specs that I feel I hope Blizzard will pay. I can't speak. Sorry. But I hope they'll pay close attention to some of these specs and do them right because some of these specs have just not been good at all during BFA. And I don't mean not doing good as in not doing damage or having good numbers or anything like that. I just mean like they're not fun. And a lot of these specs, I'm sure you guys will completely agree, are just not fun in BFA. And I'm actually going to get into the not fun ones, but need work in Shadowlands later, because actually I wanted to talk about two specs that I personally love that I have not enjoyed in BFA, but not to the extent of these other specs, but they seem to be doing a lot better in Shadowlands thus far, just based on watching like Preach's videos or some live streams or anything like that. And there's two specs in particular, and that's Windwalker Monk and Retribution Paladin. I feel Windwalker Monk, just by watching the videos, it looks pretty fun. I have to agree with some of the things Preach said, though. If you ask me, first of all, I'm happy Zuen is back baseline. I don't know why Blizzard felt, at least, the need in BFA to take so many classes cooldowns and put them as talents, because it's not fun. It's not fun. I want to have periods of burst, especially at the start of the fight. I don't want to just go into it and then just slowly do the same exact thing, the same exact like priority and rotation for 10 minutes of a fight or however long the fight may be. And that's kind of how Windwalker feels to me right now. I'm not a big fan of Windwalker in BFA. I miss Legion's Windwalker. I don't really know if I could tell you what the big difference was. I think the hit combo nerf was needed, but it wasn't like it just took too much fun out of it. But at the same time, hit combo is really pointless. It's just kind of a tracker for your mastery. Because like I said, I agree with what Preach said when he said that nobody looks at their mastery. They just see hit combo and they just assume it's something different. But I think Windwalker is on the right track, though, that's for sure. Same as Ret Paladin. Ret Paladin is... It feels like it, to me, every time I play Ret Paladin, it feels like it just tries to be Fury Warrior without any of the fun of Fury Warrior, you know? Like, it has this just obscene burst at the start, and then every time the cooldown comes up. But it doesn't have the fun that Fury Warrior has, where Fury is just non-stop. It's very fast-paced. You're always hitting something. As you might be able to tell based on my screen over here, I am playing a Fury Warrior right now. I actually took a break for all of Nazjatar, all of Azara, and then now just recently came back for N'Zoth. But I was 7 out of 9 Mythic in Battle of Dazar'alor when I had to stop because school was starting again. Got Stormwall very low, but never quite got there. Prior to that, I did not really play much of Uldir because BFA was very bumpy at the start. Still is bumpy, but not nearly as much, thankfully. But then I played a lot of Legion. But I'll get more into Legion actually here in a little bit. But Ret Paladin, I feel like it's just missing the mark. It's not where it needs to be. It feels like it's just a discount Fury Warrior, and that just, I don't know. I don't like it for that reason. Like, it has all the same spells really too. Like Hammer of Wrath now, which is, from what I can tell, like a permanent talent. Like there's no reason to pick anything else. It's just execute. And not that other classes don't get executes, believe me. I think things like Kill Shot, I miss Kill Shot. things like that, they work well. But for Ret Paladin, it just feels, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. And this is weird because I am a Fury Warrior main, and a Paladin was the first class I ever made to max level, Ret Paladin specifically. But it just doesn't work for me in BFA. So far, though, in Shadowlands, it looks like it's doing pretty well, thankfully. The next one I wanted to get into is actually what I like. Please, Blizzard, if you see this video, I'm begging you, please fix Guardian Druid. Guardian Druid is my second favorite class and spec in the game, just behind Warrior and actually Arms Warrior, which we will get into here in a little bit. But Guardian Druid, since BFA came out, it is just totally garbage. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore. And if you ask me, this comes down to two main things, really. The first one is that Guardian Druid was one of those specs that just benefited so much from legendaries. And it's just not at all the same without the legendaries. But more than that, actually, on top of that, I miss Rage of the Sleeper. Rage of the Sleeper was an amazing thematic ability for Guardian, and I don't get why they got rid of it. I do not understand Blizzard's thought process, because I feel like it just took away so much from Guardian Druid. Because to me, the class fantasy behind a Guardian Druid has always just been this immovable object, this just giant barrier between the boss and your raid team or your party or whatever the case may be. The Guardian Druid is just, it's like the quintessential tank, if you ask me. It is literally a tank. Like it has so much health. It takes like no damage. It has so much armor. And now, like Rage of the Sleeper, it was just like it fit perfectly right in that class fantasy, and it's gone now. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. Then additionally, global cooldown changes. Please revert that. Please revert that. It just sucks. It sucks. I don't know how else to describe it. It just fucking sucks. Not being able to cast Iron Fur when I need to cast Iron Fur. Like, what? What is Blizzard thinking when it comes to things like this? The global cooldown changes, I feel like it screwed up Guardian Druids more than any other class that I play, that's for sure. And I have not tanked, really, since Antorus, because it's not fun anymore. Guardian is just not fun anymore. The most fun I've ever had playing WoW in general, honestly, is when I was the off tank Guardian Druid during our Tomb of Sargeras progression. Me and my guild, I was the guild master of Full Tilt or AFK. AFK and then Full Tilt, actually, on Mal'Ganis. And we made it 3 out of 9 Mythic in Tomb of Sargeras, which isn't saying much. 3 out of 9 was like nothing. You could pug that. And then we made it 2 out of 9 Mythic in Antorus, I believe. And we were doing well, though. But that just kind of fell. It fell. It didn't work. It didn't continue on into BFA. Because a lot of us didn't like Uldir. A lot of us didn't like BFA. And then me specifically, I could not stand Guardian Druid in BFA. Couldn't do it. I had to just stop. I tried Brewmaster. That didn't even work. It's just nothing is as good to me as Guardian Druid was in Legion. And now it's just not fun. And the last reason Guardian Druid is just not fun is I know a lot of a lot of longtime Guardian Druids will probably disagree with me on this one. But I missed Old Enraged Regen. Old Enraged Regeneration was very broken. I'll be the first to admit it. It was fucking busted. But it fit very well with the Guardian Druid. And this new version of Enraged Regen is okay. It's okay. I liked more like when you take a big hit, you can heal most of that back. I liked that a lot. But I understand why that was just not working and not good for the game. But this new version, it just, I don't know. It doesn't feel the same, obviously. But on top of that, it's just not fun with it being on the global cooldown. It just really isn't. If it were taken off the global cooldown, then it'd be better. If you ask me, it'd be workable at least. but it's just not good right now, unfortunately. And I dearly hope that Blizzard fixes the Guardian Druid in Shadowlands, because if so, I'm definitely going to be playing a lot more of Guardian. But that is still to be determined. And then finally, the spec that matters most to me, and I dearly wish they fix, Arms Warrior. I played Arms Warrior. I mained Arms Warrior from about middle of Mists of Pandaria, for the most part. I played a lot of Destro back then as well. But I mained Arms Warrior from about middle of Mists of Pandaria up until later Warlords of Draenor. I did all the challenge mode dungeons in Warlords on an Arms Warrior, and I stopped playing Arms. And then when Legion came out, I tried Fury, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like it nearly as much, and I missed the old Arms. And then when Tomb of Sargeras came out, I played a lot of Arms again with that tier set that was just amazing. You know, that tier set was just busted, honestly. But Arms, to me, in BFA, is the worst that Arms has ever been. Right now, Arms is actually good numbers-wise. It does good damage. But just in general, Arms is just not fun anymore. To me, the class fantasy about Arms has just always been like a weapon master, like someone who has a big sword and just you can't beat them in a sword battle because they'll just thwump you every single time. But in BFA, to me, it just feels like you're hitting things with a pool noodle, and it doesn't feel good. I don't like the new Colossus Smash. I don't. It's workable. It's okay, but I don't like the new Colossus Smash. I wish that it were old Colossus Smash. But then again, it's not the worst thing about Arms. To me, there are two things about Arms that are just they need so much work, and I guarantee you every single Arms warrior is going to agree with me on this one. One, it's just the rage bottleneck. There's just no, actually the second one I don't know if Arms warriors will agree with me on, but the rage bottleneck is just terrible to me. The fact that there could be like seconds, like there could be a good like 4 or 5 seconds or a couple 3 or 4 GCDs where I just do not do anything because I've only auto attacked once recently and I do not have the rage, and to the point that I'm willing to, like, especially in a raid fight, you don't want to sacrifice your heroic leap. Heroic leap is too valuable of a movement ability, and one of the only movement abilities that warriors have, that you don't want to sacrifice it just because you need rage. But there are times that I'll just like, oh god, I have nothing to do, so I'll just leap back and then charge in, so all that I'll get one extra slam or whirlwind in. It's just not, it's not fun. And that actually goes to my second point about Arms as well, is that there's no filler spell. If you if you play Fury, you always have your whirlwind. You could always just hit your whirlwind key whenever you have nothing else. Like if your bloodthirst is on cooldown, if your raging blows are on cooldown, you don't have enough rage for a rampage, you can just hit whirlwind over and over and over again. And theoretically, you should only really need to do one whirlwind in a row, like never cast more than one. But there are times that like you might just get really unlucky and you'll have to cast 2 whirlwinds in a row, and that just sucks. But it's better than casting nothing. I know some of my fellow Arms Warrior friends, actually, I have a couple here and there, don't necessarily agree with me on that one, but I feel like it would be a lot better. Arms would be a lot better off if they gave us something that we can do. I personally don't like Fervor of Battle whatsoever. I just don't think it's a fun talent. It just is, it feels just unengaging, you know? Like, it's just like, wow, I just changed my slam filler into whirlwind filler. I know probably a lot of you might disagree with me on this one, but I think if I were Blizzard, I would remove the rage cost of whirlwind and totally revamp Fervor of Battle in some way. I don't know how. But get rid of that so that Arms Warriors can cast whirlwind whenever they want as well. And then going back to the GCD changes again, Arms got fucked on the GCD changes. And Preach mentions this in his video, and I just like it didn't occur to me why I hated this change as much for Arms as I did until Preach actually said it, and then it finally clicked in my head. But things like sweeping strikes, why is that on the GCD? Why is sweeping strikes on the GCD? It's just pointless. There's genuinely no reason for sweeping strikes to be on the GCD other than for Blizzard to just slow the game down. And I don't think warriors especially should not be slowed down. Some classes I could see how, it might be better if they're slowed down, but things like warrior or like a demon hunter or like shadow priest, they're designed to be fast specs. They're designed for that. They should be fast. You should be just constantly pressing buttons, constantly non-stop pressing buttons. But warriors are kind of especially fucked because of the GCD changes, on top of a lot of other classes as well. On top of that as well, I don't like that recklessness is on the GCD. I don't like it. If you ask me, all cooldown should be taken back off the GCD. In general, the GCD changes should be reverted. But, I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir when I say that one, to say the least. So, but that's about it for my thoughts on Shadowlands. Like I said, I don't have alpha. I'm hoping I get alpha soon, but knowing my luck, but I'm hoping I get alpha. If I do, when I do, I'm going to make videos. I want to talk more about Arms Warrior and Guardian Druid, but we shall see. And I am live streaming again, guys. So if you see this video and you haven't yet come to check out my stream, come check me out. I don't have a set schedule at the moment, but with this quarantine going on, I have more than enough time to stream as much as I want. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out other videos I have, or at least will be making. I wouldn't check out any of my past videos. They're all awful. But I'm going to hopefully make more Shadowlands videos, hopefully get more of my thoughts out. So be sure to check them out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you know Ian Hazakos, just forward this video to him, please. I'm begging you. But yeah, thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.